Hello, YNABers. My name is Jesse Meekum, and this is podcast number 466 for YNAB, where we teach you 4 rules to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck, get out of debt, and save more money. This podcast will be shorter than 7 minutes because I just recorded it and had not hit record on my audio. Here we go, round 2. All right. I wanted to talk about, I felt like I had a gem for y'all, and now you're getting like round 2. Maybe that was a rough draft and you're getting final polished edition. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to address stress. And there is a group of people that make what you make money-wise, that are not stressed. And you all know, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm not talking about people that are in dire straits, that actually manage their money far better than I do or than you do. We're not talking about that group of people. That is a whole other issue. But there is a whole millions and millions and millions of people that make plenty of money and should not feel stressed. If that's you, then I'm talking to you. So, back to you. There are people making the exact same amount of money to the dollar that you make, and they are not stressed about their money. What attributes do they have? I should say, there are people making 4 times what you make that are stressed about their money. So, what attributes do these people have that allow them to not be stressed about their money? There are 4 C's, because I thought it'd be good to do C's. First, they have a cadence for reviewing and just kind of being in their money. If you're a longtime YNABer, you might have landed on a Saturday or a Sunday morning. Coffee's always fresh, birds are always chirping, weather's always perfect, and you're just kind of dialing in the budget. If you're just starting out and you're extricating yourself from that very stressful situation, then you may be looking at more like a daily cadence. But people that aren't stressed about money have a cadence to just kind of reviewing, keeping a check on things, making sure it's all kosher. That's number 1. Number 2, they have regular, non-scary, not high-charge, not heavily emotional, not guilt-ridden conversations with themselves or with their significant other with whom they share finances about money. Now, we'll get to our third C because it's not always, it's actually rarely about money, but they are not afraid to talk about money. Just today, I was working the budget and I text Julie because I'm here at the office and I said, hey, what was that big Venmo payment? And because it's cryptic, you're just like, it just says Venmo, money out of the checking account. What could it be? Well, I have a cadence of looking at the budget regularly and I text I didn't text myself, I text Julie and we have this regular conversation. So she's not scared when she gets a text from me, this little boop, boop, and it pops up and it says, hey, what was that large Venmo amount for? Now, under normal circumstances, when a not so highly functioning this is not my day, with a not so highly functioning couple like Julie and I, what might that bring? Did she feel a wave of worry, concern? Did she think suddenly, oh my gosh, what have I done? No. Not at all. She knew I was asking simply so I could categorize it appropriately. And how did I know that she hadn't gone off the rails? Because we budget and we plan and we have conversations about these things. So that could have gone a whole other direction. And I'm sure many people have text chains that would be representative of stressful conversations. So if you have that regular cadence and you're having conversations, again, with yourself or with someone that you're sharing money with, then the third thing that almost can't help but happen is you get clarity. You get clarity around your priorities. You get clarity around what really matters. And that clarity then circles back through. You've got the cadence. Is everything still on plan? You have conversation about, is it off plan? What do we do to fix it? And then you're back to clarity again. So it's just a nice little loop, and it's a self-reinforcing, strong, good feedback loop for making sure that the values you hold, that you're very clear on, just keep being fed back through the system. Cadence, conversation, clarity. Finally, this one maybe is obvious, but it needs to be thrown in there, and it was a 4th C, cash. People that aren't stressed about money, by definition, are going to have more money, relatively. So you got to have a little cash on hand. Cash gives you options. And I don't mean like paper cash. I just mean that you have room. So if you don't have any cash, if you don't have any margin, any buffer, any cushion, then what's going to happen is you don't give yourself the time to work through that cadence, to have a conversation, to reassess and reprioritize and seek new clarity given this new information. And disaster strikes, stress mounts. We don't want any of that. So you need to have a little bit of cash on hand. I don't know how much, just some amount that has you feeling less stress, gives you time to think through your options. So recap. You have a cadence of review, just kind of being in the money. Number two, you have conversations regularly. So we don't have these high-charged, negative, detrimental conversations about money. And remember, this can be self-talk too. Number three, you have clarity around what you want your money to do. And finally, make sure you have a little cash on hand just to make sure the whole machine's well-oiled and running, optimally. That was less than 7 minutes. So, kind of the 4 C's, along with YNAB's 4 rules. Until next time, follow YNAB's 4 rules and you will win financially. You've never budgeted like this.